Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa and today I'm going to be going over and setting up my January expense tracker in the Budget Moms Budget by Paycheck workbook. And what I purchased was the box set. So I did my January paycheck #1 budget, which you guys would have already seen on Friday. And today I thought I would show you how I'm going to be setting up the expense tracker. So I went ahead and flipped to the expense tracker pages. Now I have watched several videos on how to set up the tracker, and I should have one expense tracker per account. Now I have one checking account, so I will set up one tracker for that. And then I will set up a separate tracker for my cash envelopes. Okay, so the first thing with the expense tracker in the box set that is different than the full-size workbook is that each line goes across 2 pages. So I have a place to record the date, the account, the transaction, category, withdraw, deposit, and ending balance. So the first thing up here at the top is the type of account, and I am going to write checking. I have a Capital One 360 account. I have a couple of sub-accounts. I have one main checking account that my direct deposit goes into, and I also have a rent account. So to make it easy, I am going to keep one tracker. I think it would become way too confusing for me to try to track each individual account separately. It's all within the same bank, so it's not as if I have to log into 2 different institutions to keep up with it. My starting balance for my checking account as of the 1st of January is $1,441.27. So now I'm going to go ahead and fill out the transactions that I have up until this point, and today is January the 5th. So the first thing that I had come out of my account is my rent. Now, it has not cleared my account as of yet, so I'm going to wait to write down my rent until that clears. On Saturday the 2nd, I had called Geico. I was using Progressive and was paying about $123 a month. I called Geico on the 2nd, and I did get the total of the policy that I paid on January the 2nd was $61.29. So I'm going to go ahead and write the date. Account is checking. Transaction is Geico. We'll put the category as auto. And the amount of the withdrawal is $61.29. So if we take the balance minus... All right, guys, my camera shut off. It's 6:30 in the morning and my alarm just went off. I have a couple set to help me get ready for work and let me know that the time is slowly approaching. Where I was at was $61.29 for Geico. I'm subtracting that from the starting balance. That's going to give me an ending balance of $1,379.98. And the next item that came out of my account was on the 3rd, and I had both Netflix and Hulu. So I'm going to write the date here. 13. The account is checking. And the transaction, we'll put Hulu first. Category, I'm going to put that under utilities. And the total of Hulu is $11.99. So going back here, taking $11.99 from $13.79.98 is $13.67.99. So this is just like a check register, basically. Next item here is going to be Netflix, also on the 3rd. Again, account is checking. Transaction is Netflix. Category is going to be utilities. The amount was $17.99. I'm going to go ahead and subtract that here. And that is $13.50 is my balance. All right, so that is everything for the checking account. Now, with the Budget Moms process, we should be highlighting each category. Now, I have these mild liners. I purchased these at Walmart. They were $16.88. It's a 15-pack. And I saw somebody else do this. I don't know if it was on a YouTube video or within the Budget Moms Facebook group, but I went ahead and labeled each marker. I labeled it with the name and I taped it on there. So that way I'll know which category is which. Now I don't have yet a color for auto, but I do have one picked out for utilities. Let's pick pink for auto, and I'll go back and I'll label this a little bit later. But this way, by highlighting each row, it will make it easier to break down my where did my money go and categorize each expense and total it up. So I'm going to highlight just this portion over here for now instead of doing the entire line, I think. We'll see. All right, so pink is going to be for auto. And my auto category, I'm going to include my insurance, my inspections, emissions, car repairs, any of those kinds of things. We'll be using pink for that. Maybe I'll go back and do the other side later, but for now I'm just going to highlight this portion. And then for utilities, I've got this kind of orangey color, and we'll go ahead and highlight that. So utilities for me will be Hulu, Netflix, Amazon, which my Amazon membership doesn't renew until June. I'll be using orange for that. And then once I get moved, I will use this color for my electricity, water, any of those kinds of categories, any of those kinds of expenses. All right, so the first thing to note is that I was wondering, and the reason why I wanted to go ahead and highlight this now before I moved on is to see whether or not the highlighter bled through. I can kind of see it a little bit. And I think that's why I am not going to highlight this side of the expense tracker, because that, I think, might... Yeah, I think I'm just going to do this side. So I'm going to skip this page because that is everything right now for my checking account. So now let's move on to my cash envelopes. Now I am not going to have a separate tracker for my sinking funds. This is just going to be for checking and cash envelopes. So this tracker is going to be cash envelopes. So we'll say cash ENV. And the beginning balance of my cash envelopes as of January the 1st was $226. So I had a few transactions since the 1st of the month. Let's start with spending. I'll take the tracker out here. So I had a few items from the spending category. I went to Glory Days. That is a pub-style restaurant in Manassas that I love. Went to Dollar Tree and Walmart. So let me go ahead and we'll write those down real quick. So the first was on, well, let's grab, before I do that, let's do these in order. So for groceries, I had Walmart on the 3rd. I have nothing spent in gas and oil changes. And for fur babies, I made a purchase on the 3rd. So on the 1st, when I had all of the deposits made on here, I added up these amounts. So I'm not going to write the deposit amounts again. Okay, so let's see here. First of the month, I had nothing on the 1st. On the 2nd, I had one transaction, which was the restaurant. So I'll go ahead and write down the 2nd. The account is spending. The transaction is Glory Days. Category, let's see here. I have a category for spending on my markers there, or I have a color dedicated for spending rather. The withdraw amount is $20. So let's take 226. I could do this in my head, but it'll make it easier. So my calculator is correct. So that is a balance of 206. And then next transactions are all on the 3rd. So the first, we'll go back to spending. Oh no, I do have one, another on the 2nd. I have Dollar Tree. So on 1-2, account is spending. I went to the Dollar Tree. Category is spending. The withdraw amount is $5. So that is 201 is my balance. I like everything to look the same. The next transaction is on the 3rd. So January 3rd, the account is spending. I went to Walmart. Category is spending. The amount was $35. So that gives me a balance of $166. And then also at Walmart for fur babies on the 3rd. And again, Walmart. That is from fur babies. I spent $10. So that is a balance of $156. And the last transaction, also at Walmart, groceries for $43. So the transaction again is Walmart. Category, groceries. The withdraw amount is $43. So that gives me a balance of $113 in my cash envelopes. So that, this way I'll have a running total of all of the money that I'm spending, and then at the end of the month, I'll categorize all this in the I'll add everything up in the using the where did my money go worksheet and see if I was over or under budget in each category. All right, so I do have, I'm leaving pink out for now because I need to label it, but I do have a color for spending, one for groceries, and I have one for fur babies. Since I have so few categories right now, I went ahead and did a color for each. I may change my mind later on this, but just getting started, I went ahead and did it this way. All right, let's go ahead and highlight these. So spending is in blue. And then next is fur babies, and fur babies is in this pinky peach color. Last is groceries, which is this purple color. And let's see if it bled through. I can see it a little bit. All right, so that is the setup for my expense tracker so far for the month of January. I wanted to just go over how I was going to set it up, cash versus checking, and show you the highlighter method if you weren't already familiar. This is going to be, I think, a long video, so probably going forward, I'll do a weekly check-in, and I will have already written all these things down and just discuss with you where my money went each week. I think that'll be a lot faster than you guys watching me write down all of these things. So if you have bared with me this long, let me know down in the comments by giving me an orange heart or a heart in the comments. Let me know who my troopers are that watch this video all the way to the end. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day or night wherever you're at. Bye.